Hello, Bella.
Hi, I'm so excited. Thank you for having me, Emily.
Oh my gosh, you are welcome. But I am so freaking honored that I get this interview as
Oh,
you are right off the red carpet.
gosh. Thank you. That was exciting for sure. Yeah.
Like we didn't really plan this. Like we scheduled it and then all of a sudden I'm like, "Oh my gosh, the same week that I get to interview Bella, she is
Oh,
literally on the red carpet."
you're so sweet. That was awesome. And it was for a documentary called Animal, which is literally all about the carnivore diet. And I think anybody who watches it, it's 90 minutes, um, will have their minds changed forever. Yeah.
Absolutely. And it was all of our friends. It was all of everybody who is anybody in like the carnivore community.
Yes, exactly. I know I'm frozen, so are you able to edit this?
Oh,
Okay, I'm back.
okay, there you are.
Yes. Okay. Do you mind repeating the question? Sorry about that.
No, I was just saying it's crazy that it was like all of our friends. It's like everybody
Yeah.
who's anybody in the carnivore community was in
Yes.
that documentary.
And I want to share that the creator of the film, his name is Vinny, and he had this vision because he went carnivore himself to get healthy, lose weight. He saw phenomenal results, like most people do when they give carnivore a chance. He had his brother go carnivore. His family's now carnivore. And because they felt the personal experience that they did with the carnivore diet, Vinny was so inspired to make a documentary that represented this diet and the community as best as possible. So thank goodness he gave it a try because he then saw all of the doctors who were spokespeople for the carnivore diet, and he literally chose the best cast possible to represent, educate, and talk about a carnivore diet. So you will see people like Dr. Chafee, Dr. Berry, Dr. Baker, Dr. Kiltz. There's Sally K. Norton in it, Judy Cho, like all of the people who have been talking about this lifestyle for years and years and living it themselves. They're in it, and I could not be happier and more proud of this film as well. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. It's absolutely amazing. And
Yes.
I know that it was very emotional for me.
Oh, wow.
It was just there were so many moments that I really believe that they really got the point across that
Exactly.
this is a movement. This is so much more than just a simple thing. This is life changing. Of course, when Judy Cho was talking about her story and her struggle with mental
Mm.
illness, my heart was just like, yes, like we're getting this on the big screen.
Exactly. Exactly. I love it.
So I actually got a really cool opportunity at Meatstock to watch it in a little the little theater that was in our cabin, and you walked in while we were watching it. And I'm like, this is so cool. I'm sitting there with Ken Berry, Dr. Kiltz, Sally K. Norton, and then Bella just walks in to see what we're doing, you know?
Honored. Like, seriously, it is surreal. When I was watching it for the first time, literally at that event, that was my first time watching it in in completion, right? And so as I was watching it, obviously the feeling of seeing yourself on such a huge screen in a movie theater is insane. But for me, the most special part was they captured some really gorgeous moments of my wedding in the documentary, and I was like, wow, my wedding will forever be remembered as part of this awesome movement to help people get healthy and spread awareness on the carnivore diet. So like the fact that I was even in it for one scene, even, I would have been so grateful. So yeah, everything came together so nicely, and I'm very excited for the world to see it.
It really is. So, what was that feeling sitting in the theater,
Yeah.
watching your wedding be on the big screen?
I think I just got goosebumps, but most of all, it was a beautiful reminder of how perfect that day was. And a lot of the people in the documentary were there as like best man, my bridesmaids, and like to share the room with a lot of them again and just see these little moments just brought back memories of that perfect day. It literally was the most perfect day. Yeah.
That's incredible. That's incredible. And I'm sure you've never been on the red carpet before. What was that experience
Never.
like?
That was very overwhelming, to be honest, because there are cameras trying to take photos of you every corner. Okay. So they're like saying, okay, pose here. Okay, now look at this camera. Now look at that camera. And then they push you to the end and they're interviewing you. So it's a lot of chaos. And I feel like I got a glimpse of what celebrities have to deal with every day. And it's hard work. It's hard work.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely. Absolutely. I can't imagine. And I'm sure it was a different scale because we're
Yeah.
unknown in
Not
the
even
carnivore,
close. Exactly.
but
Exactly.
still like
But
so
even that,
overwhelming.
a lot. It's a lot. Yeah. But it was obviously such a great experience being with the cast who did show up and then meeting Vinny, meeting the director, meeting the entire team. I think it took a whole village to get this film filmed, edited, released, and they were really fast. Like they did not take their time. Like it was last year when they filmed me at the wedding, and then they took just a short year to get it out, and it's premiering today, June 20th. It's out.
And I'm going to put this video out today.
Perfect.
And I'll put links in the show notes because it's just so amazing. And what I loved whenever I was watching it, I was thinking, oh my gosh, this is going to be a great clip. This is going to be like the whole thing is just a series of incredible clips. I
Right.
mean, the delivery
Yeah.
of the little sound bites from Dr. Kiltz, from
Yes.
Dr. Barry, from
Yeah.
Dr. Chafee, Dr. Sivas, like so many amazing things.
So many. Yeah. I
Yeah,
love it.
it was almost too much. Like
Oh,
as I'm watching, like I was just so
yeah.
excited. I was sitting there next to James Barry from
Yeah.
Pluck, and I
Oh,
was just like, I was literally getting teared up. Like this is
oh.
so emotional. These are like my people, and they're
Yes.
sending the message that we literally have been sacrificing our lives to share to help
Yes.
people.
I want to say thank you to you, Emily, because you are one of the few who was in the carnivore community, spreading the word, sharing your story bravely 6 years ago. When I first entered the community, you were already there sharing and connecting, coaching, and spreading the word. And it's because of people like you who opened up and shared with so much compassion and vulnerability 6 years ago that I felt compelled to go carnivore. Therefore, I grew my platforms so that I could hopefully help more people as well. And it really is this very tight-knit community of OG carnivores, us, who started the movement. We're still carrying it and moving it forward to this day, years later. And we've got OGs who unfortunately weren't in the film, like Kelly Hogan, right? And like the zeroing in on health people. I know that there will be many, many more documentaries, movies, docuseries, whatever it is to come. And I think, m- like me looking at it from where I sit here, I only have gratitude for that initial tribe of people who so bravely shared. And you're part of that.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. And I feel like there's not only, phases that were before us, but
Yeah,
there's phases to come,
absolutely.
and
Yes,
that's really what's exciting to me, especially whenever we can transition into the children and we can have children that they no longer have to go into metabolic disorder, that they can
yes.
start their life with a clear brain and a clear body,
Yeah,
and so, yeah, so excited to keep
that's the
going
goal.
on this message.
Me too. Absolutely.
Awesome. So I think this is a good time for me to just share my screen really quick. And so this was you. By the way, you
Yeah.
were on point with that dress. Like
Thank
you
you,
looked
Emily.
like a Hollywood star.
Oh, you're so sweet. Thank you so much. Thank you.
No, that was so incredible. And then of course you. I love it.
Oh,
And then
yeah.
they had scenes of your wedding.
Yes, right
Oh
there.
my
Oh,
gosh, it was
oh,
amazing. And then of course Angela, Dr. Kiltz, Sally, and then Zane. I got to see
Zane.
the
Yes,
video with Zane.
right.
It was incredible. And I think that's Josh Feldman.
That is Josh.
And
Correct.
then is this Vinny?
That's Vinny. That's right.
Okay. And then who's this?
I am not sure. I don't know if he's part of the team.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
And then of course, I mean, look, I'm sorry, but we just need to give a moment to that
Yeah.
dress.
Aw, you're
Like,
so
look at
sweet.
the shimmer. Like
Thank
it
you.
is next freaking level. I mean, how do you know what to wear to the red
So
carpet?
to be honest, I got this dress like 12 hours before the event. Okay.
Shut
And
up.
yeah, no, I went to Windsor. Do you know the store Windsor?
No.
Okay. It's literally where I would get all of my piano concert dresses ever since I was a teenager. That's where my mom would take me to, just down the street at the Delamo Mall. And I went to go check if it's still there because that's all I know. And my mom would take me to buy gowns. I was like, okay, you know what? Let's see if they still have gowns over there, if it's even open. It's open. They upgraded to a bigger location, but still the same mall. And the only dress that I felt like I was compelled to try on was this yellow one. And why? Because it's a butter yellow. And I was like, oh, this looks like a stick of butter with flowers. Tried it on. I was like, okay, this is the one. So it was honestly so quick and easy, but I got it hours before the event.
And it fit you.
It did fit me. Yes. Because they have like
That's
tie strings, so it was good.
that's amazing because normally you have to like, especially like high
Taylor, yeah.
fashion, you have to get it like
Mhm.
tailored and
Yeah.
uh, have it make sure that it fits right.
Right. It was just meant to be, so thank goodness. Whew.
Oh my gosh, that's so incredible. I cannot believe you got it 12 hours before.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I can't imagine this moment for you. I
Yeah, it
mean,
was
being interviewed.
unreal. Yeah, and she has this huge following, so she's probably a celebrity herself. She was interviewing all of the cast members, the team members, and I really felt like, okay, so this is what it's like to, be on a red carpet, literally be part of the cast and be treated like, you made a difference. And I was like, wow, this is insane. So I tried to be professional, but inside I was so nervous. Okay, I was like, please don't mess up, don't stutter, don't just smile. I don't even know what I said.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. And I'm sure your Juilliard training, definitely
Definitely
came
helped.
came in that you know how to put on the game face and go. But yeah, just so awesome to see
Absolutely.
this.
Be presentable.
Yes. So if
Yeah,
anybody
thank
is
you.
looking, go look for Animal Doc Film. And it is out.
Yes.
You can go and stream it
Today.
digitally today. And then
Yep,
there's, of course, limited theaters that you can go get it at.
exactly. That's right.
Awesome. So while we're here, so this is your Instagram. If anybody doesn't know, if anybody's like under a rock and they
Oh,
don't know who you are, on Instagram, Steak and Butter Gal, and you deliver. You over deliver, to be honest. Like I know what it's like to be in your groups, and for the minimal cost that it is to be in your groups, you over deliver, and you are always
oh,
accessible to
thank you.
everybody in your group, and it's absolutely amazing.
That's so sweet. Thank you. I definitely try to be, but honestly, if I had it my way, I would not sleep. I would just help. I would just post, but I try to manage all the platforms as best as I can. And thank you for the compliments. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely, absolutely. And then of course, YouTube. So 484 subscribers on YouTube, and you have some of the best content because you talk to people who have really had an actual experience with this.
Mm-hmm.
And then of course you share your story on here.
Yeah,
So
thank
um,
you.
and then this is the group that I was talking about. This is through Mighty Networks. And so you guys literally have access to Bella.
Oh,
Like, and not only Bella, but she has compiled a team. She has pulled together amazing leaders that are here to answer your needs and your questions. Anything else you wanted to say about the Mighty Network group?
thank you, Emily. I still remember the early days where you were part of the meetings and you were cheering everyone on and sharing your knowledge. And I started this community because I felt lonely myself, and I just wanted friends to talk to and heal with on my own journey with a carnivore diet. And it just turns out that it was so needed 5 years ago when I first started. And that's what really blossomed this community is from the members of the carnivore community. And it's really not about me in there. Like, yes, I'm sometimes in the meetings and I love cheering everyone on and being a part of the fun, but I have to say the people pulling through are the doctors who show up in there, are the coaches who show up day in and out, giving troubleshooting and advice. And it's a wonderful, wonderful team. And people who really care about your health are helping you in there. So yeah, yeah, that's there. Thank you.
Yes, that's one thing that I have noticed is that the members of the group are taking it on as their own.
Yes,
They're not
absolutely.
seeing it as your group or
Not at
Raymond's group
all.
or anybody else's group. They take ownership and it's their group. And so if they see somebody falling on the wayside, they're
Yeah,
going to reach out to them and be like, "Hey, I didn't see you in the meeting. How are you doing?"
exactly.
Like that group tribe
Tribe.
mentality
Absolutely. We're
is
looking
it
out for each other. Yeah.
absolutely priceless. Yeah. And then,
Yeah.
of course, on Facebook, anybody can go and find you there because I think it's so important for us to be connected. And it's interesting how it's easier to share posts on
Yeah.
Facebook than it is on some of the other platforms.
Oh, I know
So
what you
I
it's
really like that you can have that community there.
for sure, for sure.
Absolutely. So I know that you've probably said this a million times, but
Oh,
for anybody that doesn't know your story, could you please just give us a quick overview of why did you
of
why did
course.
you turn your entire life into this mission?
So I always like to preface with saying I was already desperate and kind of in the search for getting healthy, feeling confident in my own skin because I struggled with skin issues my whole entire life. And because I started searching since I was like a teenager, I fell upon the vegan diet before I stumbled across a carnivore diet. And I gave a vegan diet a chance, 6 years of a chance. Okay. So a serious chance. And although I put in 6 years of my time and effort to be a very clean, whole foods, plant-based eater, my health only went down the gutter. And so that's all the proof that I needed to share with the world after I started carnivore that, wow, there really is a huge difference with what you feed your body and how it affects you. And I felt like I had a really good representation because I went from eating only plants to eating only animal foods. And you cannot have more of a contrast. So from 6 years of eating vegan foods to literally just the first day of eating animal foods, I already felt the world of a difference. And my first bite of carnivore food was eggs because I was terrified of the blood and the meat. I was a brainwashed vegan, and I literally thought I was a terrible human being for quitting the vegan diet, for eating meat again. So I chose eggs. Just that bite of egg cooked in Kerrygold butter, I felt like I was brought back to life. I felt like 6 years I was living in black and white. Okay. That first bite of egg, I felt like I was levitating. I was like, oh my gosh, not only does it taste good, but I'm seeing everything in 4K vivid color. So that feeling I will never, ever forget. And there are vegans, decade-long vegans, or 20, 30 plus year vegetarians that don't know that they can feel this good. So, really, my mission with my content is to help the young women and gentlemen, mostly the younger generation, but also those who are still stuck in the mindset that you have to eat less, move more, and go vegan. That is such a scam, you know? And I don't want more people being scammed by that. So after going carnivore, I brought back my periods, skin healed. I literally can wake up with no more pimples, no more rosacea, psoriasis, and eczema flare-ups, and I get to just live my life. What a blessing it is to be able to just live my life having amazing energy, no health concerns, literally from changing my diet. So, how can we as carnivores who felt the experience and the benefits not talk about it? There are people who are still stuck in the mindset that I have to pay big bucks for medications, surgeries, doctor visits to even manage my diseases and issues. But no, you can actually heal, cure, reverse all of it and live your best life without medications and just the food you're eating. So 6 years in, I'm 6.5 now, years carnivore, and I don't I don't see myself introducing plants. I always get asked this literally was asked this on the red carpet days ago by the interviewer. And she said, "So, have you introduced plants yet in the past 6 years now that you're 6 years carnivore?" And I was like, "No, because I literally lost the desire and the craving for any fruit. I definitely don't want to eat vegetables ever again. And all I want is just butter, beef, eggs, seafood, raw dairy." Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. And it's, I've heard, many times that they say, oh, well, that's so restrictive. And what's so restrictive is having literal eruptions on your
Yes.
skin that you cannot control and you don't know
Thank
where
you.
they're coming from,
Exactly.
or anxiety or depression. And so, like you said, to go from that black and white life to vivid color,
Yeah,
it's priceless.
it is priceless and everybody deserves it.
Absolutely. So, Bella, to be honest, you could have had this amazing transformation and this amazing experience. You could have maybe done an interview. You could have maybe like made a post and shared it, but you have made it your mission and your crusade.
Hmm.
So,
Love
what keeps you going? What keeps you going and keeps you motivated to keep sharing this story?
Easiest question ever. So, what keeps me going? And this is now my whole life. Like, it is everything that I do, the moment I wake up to the moment I sleep, because I'm no longer doing concerts. I'm no longer doing gigs. I'm no longer in New York trying to be in that scene because I truly feel like I found my purpose in life, which is to help people just learn about carnivore diet. I don't want to be the person who's saying that, carnivore is the perfect diet and it's the only way for you to heal and feel amazing. I truly believe that for each different person, a variation of carnivore and animal-based will work beautifully. You just have to experiment. But what keeps me going is easily the testimonials, the emails, the DMs, the comments that I get literally every minute of every single day. I read it, I get goosebumps, I tear up, I feel joy, I feel gratitude, I feel moments of my initial healing days. And it just reminds me minute after minute that what I'm doing is worth my time. It's worth my energy. And there is nothing else that I can be spending my time doing that will make a better difference in the world than this, what I'm doing. So, um, I'm 28. If I live to 100 even, you can look forward to 70 more years of me not shutting up about it. So just me alone, I can promise you, like, there will be 70 more years of me committing to making great content about carnivore, collaborating with all of the brilliant minds. I really look forward to seeing what new minds pop up in the space who want to be voices and carnivore content creators as well. But that is easily the reason why I keep going, and it's my motivating factor.
I love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. That's so great. And it is exciting because like there's no competition
Oh,
in the carnivore community. That is the one thing that I love so much is that like I mean the whole reason that I got to meet you in person for the first time was at Meatstock.
yes,
And it was just this year. Um,
yes.
and so tell me what that experience is like for you, because I know that wasn't your first like, meetup, but
Yes.
what has that experience been like for you being at kind of like in the community of other carnivores?
Okay, yeah. I will always remember the first day where I got to meet Dr. Wiedemann and Kelly Hogan in person. So I actually will always remember, and I will never forget that feeling. I was starstruck beyond meeting any A-list celebrity. It's a different feeling
Oh yeah.
because, yeah, these women to me are so much more than just actors on a screen. They were the reason why I felt like I was alive and thriving. So I felt like they saved my life. They were my heroes, if you want a hero. But when I met them in person, I was starstruck for sure. So you can't help it. Okay. They're more than just celebrities. They saved your life. And so I get it when people meet Dr. Chafee, Dr. Baker, and they don't know what to say. They're stuck. They're just looking at them. They're just saying, right? But to be honest, every single time someone comes to me and wants to take photos, wants to hug me, wants to tell me everything that I did to their health, I am just so blown away because it always feels very strange. And they always make comments like, I was just watching you on my TV hours ago, and to have you in front of me, oh my God, Bella, I love your Bella's Cafe skits. And I'm just like, wow. It's a very wild feeling, to be honest, because I'm usually in front of a camera all alone in a room, filming things. I post it to the world, and that's it. I don't think about it. I really don't, I don't know what happens after that. But every time someone comes up to me and shares their testimonials, gives me a hug, they're so nice to me. Like, it's a big change from being in a vegan community where they're constantly brainwashing you, guilt tripping you, making you feel like your issues are normal and part of a vegan journey. I will just say that every day I go to in-person meetups, I am just blown away by the love, the compassion, the welcoming vibes. I could never get used to it. So that's why I try to say yes to every single meetup, whatever opportunity there is for me to meet the tribe, share my experiences in person, speak about the carnivore. Like, I will always say yes. And so that's another reason why I see myself doing this every single day for the rest of my life, because there will always be more new people who just entered the carnivore community who could absolutely use that moment meeting long-term carnivores, speaking with long-term carnivores, learning from them in person at these conventions, retreats, meetups, whatever it is. Like, it's a very special, special moment.
Absolutely. I could not have said that better myself. And what was really cool was the vibe in the speaker's cabin
Yeah.
because it felt like a
Yeah.
reunion.
Yeah.
It didn't
Family.
feel like, oh, there's so and so, and oh, there's so and
Never.
so. It was just like my people. Like it
Abs-
just felt so good to just like be together.
Yes, yes. And you would think like people who are as huge as Dr. Barry would need his privacy and not want to hang out. He's constantly with everyone. He's just wherever the conversation and people and commotion is at, he's in the middle of it. Like, he wants to connect with everyone. And this applies to every single doctor and spokesperson for the carnivore diet, especially Dr. Kiltz. I think I'm most
Oh,
with him. Like, he will go out of his way. He will stop eating. He will stop drinking water. He will go to every single person in the event just to have a mini conversation. I love that. That's what,
absolutely. He will go to the person in the corner who
yeah,
like is sitting there as an introvert, not talking to anybody, and he'll go
yes,
spark a conversation with them.
that's
And
him.
not for 2 minutes. He will sit there for like, he will answer
Literally.
all of their questions and go into
Yes.
same with Sally K. Norton. I
Yes.
mean, they are so
So open
generous
with
with their
that.
knowledge.
So true. So true. I agree. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I was because the our cabin was on the top of a mountain
Right.
basically. And so I was the one of the last days I was putting my bare feet in the grass and I was just sitting at the edge of the mountain just soaking up the view. And I really kind of wanted some alone time. And so I'm sitting there and everything and then I hear footsteps behind me and I'm like, "Oh." And I turned around and it's Sean Baker. And I'm like, hey. And he was like, are you soaking up the mountain? I was like, yeah. And then so we had this great conversation. But they're just normal people and they're so loving and giving.
You know, so I've been able to spend a lot of time with each of these doctors, both in meetups, but also personally. So I will just tell you right now that out of all of the people that I've met personally, like in real life, and I do have a quite a different niche to compare to, because when I was in the classical music, right, everybody is all like elitist, right? Like, oh, I'm better than you, or I am so concert ready. I love wearing gowns, blah, blah, blah. The feeling is so different when you meet these top people, doctors, geniuses. Like, these are high IQ people. They're down to earth. They welcome you in their homes. They want to spend holidays with you. Like, they just become family members. And so my closest friends now, they're all carnivores. It's crazy. Seriously. Like, people that I see as my own father, my own grandpa. Like, there are so many people that I've met that are literally family to me now. And this is the type of connection that you get when you go carnivore or animal based or just get healthy, right? And then you immerse yourself in these events. In person is absolutely highly recommended because you just can't connect nearly the same on a Zoom call like right now. When I get to hug you, Emily, when we get to sit down together and feel each other's energy, right, hold each other's hands, you will remember that moment forever and it's just deeply ingrained. And you naturally just want to connect more, hang out more, spend more time together. And so that's how these really strong, lifelong friendships and bonds form, is to first take care of your health, clean up the diet, and immerse yourself into the community. It's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll never forget that moment that we had because our rooms were upstairs together, like across the hallway from each other, and we
Yeah.
we got that moment in the hallway, and I was able to hold your hands and just say
Oh,
thank you for,
oh,
interviewing me on your channel and how it has brought so many people to me who
good.
really needed my help. And I could have done that in a text. I could have done that in a
Right.
message. But for me to be able to look eye to eye with you and to have
Yes,
that moment alone in the hallway, you're right. It was absolute a family connection.
absolutely. Oh,
And the cool part is that we get to invite everybody who's watching this to our next family reunion. So
yes.
we have Meatstock 2026.
Wow.
And it is again in Gatlinburg. We are going to put the link in the show notes here. You guys can buy your ticket, and just look at these speakers. Like this,
Seriously, like
this is next level.
it's insane. Oh my gosh. There are like Vani, Hari, Nina Teicholz. These are people that are literally changing the world as we speak. I love it. It's incredible.
Hmm. Hmm. And then, of course, Michaela Peterson was my whole reason. It was Jordan B. Peterson on Joe Rogan that informed my brother about it, and then my brother
Yeah.
told me. So, and then,
Wow.
of course, with the MS, I reached out to Michaela,
Right.
and then, of course, I went Lion Diet. Like I think it was 8 months in to my carnivore diet. I went into Lion Diet. I was in the
Yep.
Lion Diet Club. So for me to meet
Love it.
her is like you
Yeah.
said, like my Shiro.
They are Shiro. That's exactly it. Yeah.
And then Callie Means, come on. Come
Wow.
on. Like Callie Means, this is crazy. Dr. Ben Bickman,
Oh,
Dr. Eric Berg, like, and then of course, Dr. Boz knocked it out of the park this year at
absolutely.
2025. Like, I cannot wait to hear her talk again.
So awesome. Revolutionary.
So yeah, and then of course there's Bella. Bella Steak and Butter
Oh,
Gal. Courtney Luna cracks me up. I
right.
that whole steak eating contest, or not steak eating the taste test.
Yeah. Taste test. Yeah. It's hilarious. Hilarious.
Courtney was the best.
Oh my God.
And the list just goes on. I mean, this is just insane.
So awesome. Wow.
So you guys get to come to our next family reunion and
Yes.
just buy your tickets. It's going to be at the convention in Gatlinburg, Tennessee. And then there's still, I think, a couple of tickets left for the speaker's cabin, and I think one of the other cabins, and then dinner.
Yes. Amazing. I am so excited. Like this year's event was already mind-blowing for me as a guest, being in the speaker's cabin, being able to connect with all of the participants and the attendees. It's a really special experience because it's not just a 6-hour event, it's a multiple day event. So each day you spend together, you get closer and closer, you get more and more comfortable. People start crying because it's just such a beautiful and magical event. So I highly recommend Meatstock.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, so excited. We will be there. Bella, is there anything else that you want to tell the
Yeah.
listeners that maybe you haven't said before on an interview
Yeah.
or in
Oh my
your
gosh.
your videos?
Well, I always like to share this message. We can always use more voices sharing their own personal testimonials and experiences, their success stories, because it really does take an entire community to get the awareness out. It's definitely working now, and carnivore diet is always at the top of the list. It's growing in the trend when you look on anything like Google Trends. It's only trending upwards. But I think the more voices we have, the faster it's going to grow and the more people that will see it and be able to heal. So I highly recommend you guys start that YouTube channel. Please, like, create that Instagram page, do that Facebook group that you've been wanting to do. The more communities and voices there are, the better. And if you're hesitating, I really think going to an in-person event like Meatstock can be the catalyst that you need to just do it.
Awesome, awesome. I agree completely. I think that everybody's voice is needed to be heard,
Yeah.
everybody's story.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for being so generous with me today, with your time, and your love and your friendship. And
Pleasure.
I'm so excited to see you again next year.
Thank you, Emily.
All right, bye.